Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. First off, I'm tired. Today is only Tuesday, and I'm already just pooped for the week, okay? But I made it. I'm up and at 'em, so that's what counts, right? Forgive my little bottle. It's gonna be jiggling in the cup holder that I have here. It's just water and Mio. Mio is a great source of energy for me, especially if I want the energy to kind of last, if I want something immediate, stuff like that. So, um, when I get to the office, that was ice. When I get to the office, I will obviously have a cup of coffee, but for now, this will work. Um, First things first, you guys, good morning. Today is Tuesday. Again, I am sleepy. I am exhausted. And I think part of that is just having the kid. And then I don't think that I've been getting enough rest. So I know that that's part of it. I don't recall taking my vitamins yesterday. So I know that that does not help my situation. But I will do my best to take them today. Anywho, you guys, I wanted to talk about, our first date being at a Shake Shack. The reason why I want to talk about this is because it was something that was brought up on my social media page, where you have plenty of women that are saying, oh, it's okay, like a man can take me to the Shake Shack. And I just think women are foolish, okay? Um, Let me be clear. I understand the logic with men where they're saying, hey, look, this is just us getting to know one another. I don't need to spend a bunch of money just to get to know you, yada, yada, yada. I would say take it one step further, because if you're calling a Shake Shack or a Chipotle a first date or something of that nature, right? To me, you're very misundereducated as to what a date is, right? For me personally, Shake Shack doesn't do it for me, bro. Like, I barely eat at Shake Shack, let alone a man trying to invite me to some goddamn Shake Shack, okay? But I could see it. Let's say the equivalent was a Chipotle, because I really don't eat at Shake Shack, okay? Chipotle, I eat at all the time, okay? So if you're saying, hey, look, I want to go on a lunch date to Chipotle, um, how I respond to you depends on the timing that I've known you. Meaning that if it's a first date that you're calling a first date, so this is literally our first time hanging out, right? Because I don't think men understand the difference between a date and hanging out, right? If your job is, if you want to get to know me, right, and we are just hanging out, and that is your excuse for offering a Shake Shack as a first date, I'm paying for my meal. I am paying for my goddamn meal. You damn right. I won't be paying for yours, but I'll be paying for mine. And the reason I think that that's the appropriate right way to go about that, I'm not going to complain again with these women complaining about shit on social media. Like, some shit is just not for social media, right? It's just shit that you know in the back of your head. You know it's not really what it's supposed to be. But you go with it anyway to entertain the guy because you kind of like the guy. So you're hoping that the guy is going to make this opportunity worth it, right? So in that case, a woman may say, okay, let's do a lunch date. In my mind, a lunch date is something bigger than Chipotle. Do you understand me? Like, Shake Shack is baby food, right? If you're going to take me to lunch, let's go to a bar. Let's go have lunch. Like, let's go to adult appropriate places where we have lunch, not some fast casual shit, because what that tells me is that's what you think of me. So what I told the man, I said, listen, I said how I would have handled it, because the girl's complaining. She's mad. And obviously that's how it got on social media, because she's wondering how the audacity of this man to take her to Shake Shack for lunch. And I'm like, bitch, you agreed to go. Like, at some point, women have to get over that shit. If I decide I want to go on a lunch date, I have no right to complain, especially if I know I'm going to, like, first of all, I know a man, for me, I need to know where we're going for lunch. That's number one. I'm not just going to get giddy off of you telling me, hey, we're doing a lunch date. Where are we going? That's number one. Okay. So if you don't know where you're going for a lunch date, that, in my opinion, that's kind of silliness. Like, that's silly behavior, because it is a lunch date. How do you not know where you're going? To me, that's not something that a man should be surprising you about. Like, if it's lunch, you don't need to surprise me to lunch. Where are we going? Dinner is a whole nother conversation, right? So the girl cannot convince me that she didn't know where she was going. And if she didn't know, that's shame on her, right? Not really on the male, because the male was doing what he thought was best. This is, again, when I talk about these things, this is about women and how women show up and how women behave and how women interact. Y'all, I was speeding. I was just going like 10 over the speed limit. I think I still am. And that cop just went right past me. That's cool. I mean, I probably need to stop speeding. But that's cool. I didn't look like I was out of control. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. They say they're ramping up the speed thing, but I don't know, y'all. I guess that's only in certain places where they know they can guarantee get a ticket or something. I don't know. But women play the game backwards and then cry and complain when the shit don't work out the way that they want it, right? So the guy says, he's like, the guy who posted this, when I made my comment, he said, right, because it's something men understand that if I'm paying for my date, I have full control over that date. 1000%. I have full control over whether you get more time with me or not, whether you sleep with me or not. Like, I'm in full control. So anytime you're being tested in terms of where you about to eat, because I'm telling you now, if a man took me to Shake Shack, he may not get a call back. I don't care if it was just to get to know me or none of. I don't eat Shake Shack. Now, if you take me to Chipotle, you better have a good personality for me to want to call you back. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's fair. I feel like if men want to play this game of, well, I don't want to spend a lot of money, and the first date doesn't have to cost much, and it's all about getting to know somebody. Cool. We can get to know one another as friends while I pay for my meal and you pay for your meal, right? Now, the man didn't like hearing that because, again, it's not, a lot of men are not saying these things because they really mean it, right? Because if you really meant it, and the question, the conversation is, well, money dates don't have to cost money. Well, I'm offering to pay for my meal. I'm not even offering. I'm letting you know what it is, right? So then you're only responsible for you. So that just took your costs all the way down. You ain't got to worry about money over here. You damn sure got to show up and worry about your character, though, because your character is what's going to get that call back. You feel me? If the goal isn't to impress. Because what I understood a first date was we going to dinner, and it's a dinner, and we going to do dinner, right? And whatever comes after that, whether we go dancing or whatever, like, I've never done a first date at no goddamn Chipotle or Shake Shack. I even asked my 10-year-old, I said, baby, so if you was to go on a date, and I ask her these things because these are things that she's about to be faced with as a young lady growing up in society, right? I said, would you consider Chipotle? I said, we eat at Chipotle. She says, yes, Mom. I said, now, if a boyfriend or a man or a little boy decide to take you to Chipotle for a first date, I said, what do you think of that? My daughter was like, well, my daughter be giving them answers, boy, right? And so I started cracking up because I already knew what she was saying. She said, well, it's fine if that's a hangout date. See? So even the kid understands that's not acceptable. That is cheap. That is lazy. That is not thoughtful. So if the argument here is, well, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get to know somebody. Okay, cool. You will not be spending any money on me, homie. And you still don't have control over me. You see how that goes? If I'm paying for my date, and let me tell you, women do it more often than not because of the mindset of males, right? The man had the nerve to tell me who posted what she said, right? Because all the women are jumping in this chat like, oh, that's wrong. She's a gold digger, yada, yada, yada. But I'm thinking, nah. I mean, I guess I'm a gold digger, but maybe I gold dig backwards because I'm letting you know this ain't acceptable. This ain't what's going to get my attention. If I'm paying for my meal, I'm going to treat you like a friend. That's what you wanted. You want to get to know me, right? So I take all the power away from the man. I just believe that women should get into that habit a little bit more. Okay? So I tell the man that's what I'm gonna do. The man looks shocked and, like, oh, how dare you kind of thing. But I'm thinking this is what you said you wanted, right? Aren't you saying that you don't want to pay for it? You don't want to pay. You don't want to pay as much, right, as a dinner would cost. So you thought it was appropriate to take me to some goddamn Shake Shack for our first date, and you calling it a first date. And women accept this shit. That's what's so cold about it. They the first ones crying about why the man don't appreciate them and don't love them and can't do shit for them. I'll be damned. I'm sorry, that's an insult to my intelligence. You taking me goddamn Shake Shack, bitch, I'm paying and we are just friends. It's that simple. We can get to know each other as friends. And when you're ready to pay for a real date, a grown-up date, then we can talk about something further. But until then, I'm going to treat you how you treat me. You see what I'm saying? You give it right back. And you ain't, as a woman, you're not doing nothing fucking wrong. The male is. He wants you. He don't know how to court you properly. Now, does dating always cost money? Go ahead. You're stupid. They don't want to let me in. You finna let me in. Because I got ceramic brakes. That car was not trying to let me in. Fucking let me over. Neither one of them. The one in front of me and the one on the side of me. Idiots. But anywho, I'm blessed with my ceramic brakes. Because boy, if I didn't have them, I probably would have been in an accident. Just did. But anywho, I feel as though women are willing, like there's a level of desperateness, right? Where women are for some reason, okay with settling for the bare minimum. And I'm not, okay? I'm not. I can afford my own Shake Shack meal. Again, 10 times over. If I wanted to go to Shake Shack today, I could have me a full meal with the shake and everything. Okay? Me personally, I don't eat Shake Shack. So that was, to me, supposed to be fast casual, right? Fast and casual. Those words matter. Do you understand me? Fast and casual. It doesn't say nothing about no fine dining. You understand me? So if a man is taking me somewhere that's fast and casual, in my opinion, that's what he sees me as. That's what he thinks of me as. Now, he completely may not be that way, but I'm not going to see it any other way. I'm going to see it as you see this as fast and casual. Like this relationship is supposed to be fast and casual. So I'm going to treat you just as casual as you expect to be treated. And that casual part comes in when I go out with my homegirls. I don't pay their lunch. I pay my lunch, she pays her lunch. And if I know her enough and I like her enough, right, and we bond, I may cover the lunch one day, she may cover the lunch the next day. Stuff like that. But I'm going to treat you as what y'all are saying y'all want to be treated. And when that man, he tells me, he goes, well, there's nothing wrong with getting to know. I didn't say there was anything wrong. Like nothing in my stance says there's anything wrong with getting to know a man. Never said that. I also never said that the date or the getting to know part, right, has to cost money. I never said that, right? In fact, I'm stepping in and saying, here, brother, I'll help you out. Because clearly you didn't have enough money to take me to Earl's or somewhere for lunch, right, where I could have at least some salmon for lunch. You take me to a goddamn fucking Shake Shack. Yeah, I'm taking your power out of the relationship 1000%. You damn right. And any woman, let me be clear, when a man is willing to take you to a Shake Shack and call it a first date, that's not a first date, sweetheart. These coffee dates, that's not a first date. Now, you could buy me some coffee as long as you know that you ain't getting. See, and that's the problem, too. That's part of the reason why if they're saying, hey, look, I'm doing these coffee dates and these cheap-ass dates to get to know you, that's the excuse. Then you put them in that position where they have to show who they are. It's not a matter of, because at this point, Men don't understand that a woman is only interested in you once she's impressed by you. Outside of that, she ain't like, there ain't nothing there. So your character, if you're putting yourself in a get to know you phase, and that's your excuse for taking me on a cheap date, then you better have a good personality. You better have good communication. You better have something that's going to make me say, you know what, I'm going to call him again. Let's do this again. See, because when I do lunch with my girlfriends, I hate being next to trucks, right? When I do lunch with my girlfriends, we have a good time, right? And so naturally, because we have a good time together and we got good personalities and everybody blends in, right? I want to do lunch again. You see how that works? So I don't think women are understanding that your goal as a, especially in these times, you got to make men eat their fucking words. You said you wanted to get to know me. You thought it was appropriate to take me to Shake Shack and call it a first date. First of all, I'm taking that first date away from you because that's not how you about to say you met me, motherfucker. That ain't that, like, to me, that's below me. And it really is. It's very cheap and unthought of, thoughtful. Not thoughtful at all. Not at all. Not at all. So I personally, I do not care what people think. I do not I don't, I'm not here to impress a male. Like, the male is looking after me. Like, if the man says, hey, I want to get your number, hey, I want to talk to you, whatever these men be doing, right? That shows that he's interested in me, not really the other way around. So the first date is for the male to show me that, yes, this is going to work long term. Now, if like, for me, and I don't mean long term like we about to get married tomorrow. What I mean by that is it shows me, right, as a woman, when you're taking me on that first date, and maybe, like I said, maybe it's important that women, maybe you do the hangout session, right? Maybe that's important. Maybe a lot of these men, because what I've learned too is men will spend all this money on a date, right? At least for me, I don't know. I don't know. This has been my experience. And they really ain't got it like that, bro. So they doing all this extra to try to cap and show that they got money when they really ain't a baller like that. So they done spent $300 on a first date and they really don't have a way to pay their rent tomorrow. That really be going down. And I am naturally, what happens with me when a man does that is I lose attraction off the brick. Because I'm like, wait, you just, that's not responsible. So maybe there needs to be that hangout session, right? Especially like when we're kids, when you're dating someone, when you're kids, not dating someone, when you're kids and you have a crush on a little boy, 9 times out of 10, you done hung out with the little boy. You done, y'all were friends, genuine friends. Again, this is for kids, right? Because as adults, I don't feel like we can be the same. But as friends, like, my daughter had a crush on a little boy that she hangs out with all the time, right? And the little boy hangs out with her, and he wants to hang out with her, and she wants to hang out with him. And they're literally just friends because they're kids, right? There's nothing really going on there. But they, at one point, she had a crush on him, and I really think the little boy got a crush on her. See what I'm saying? So maybe that's what, I guess. I don't know, right? I don't know, but I know Shake Shack ain't the fucking answer, bro. Maybe for some hood rat that can't afford Chucky, like afford Shake Shack or something. Maybe that's like a thing because some women just, they can't afford shit. They can't afford Chipotle all the time. Like, they're not like me where I'm used to having these kinds of meals all the time, and I buy them for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do you understand me? What makes one woman happy, cool. Like, that's your choice. Just don't be complaining about what kind of man you got after you done settled for crumbs. So for me, Shake Shack is not a date. That's not, like, I'm sorry, y'all. Now, if I had known the man and we were friends, let's say, we were hanging out and now we need something quick bite to eat, that's different. But if I don't know you, right, and we're going on what you would consider a first date, And I mean, Shake Shack just doesn't do it for me, man. It's not like first date material. That's a little different than cheesecake. See, cheesecake is the chocolates, right? I love you for the box of chocolates, just like I'm gonna love you for the cheesecake. Shake Shack, I ain't gonna love you for the shake, homie. Like I could make that at home, you know. So it's. I think that again, I would have played it differently. I'm not gonna go online and be like, look, he took me to Shake Shack. Cause to me, if he's taking you somewhere and he's paying for your meal, like you better be grateful, whatever it is. It don't fucking matter. If somebody's paying for your grown ass to eat, then motherfucker, be grateful. So again, for me, I wouldn't have complained, right? Not online, not on social media. Now, again, how I would have handled that, because I feel that date would have been inappropriate, right? I don't feel like, to me, that date says you don't take me seriously, right? And that's not, like, for me, that's not acceptable. I drive a hard bargain, but no offense, I can handle what I dish out, right? So that ain't working for me, homie. You gonna have to take me somewhere where I can get me a drink, right? A happy hour drink. I'm just saying, it's gotta be more to it than that. I better be able to see salmon on the menu. You know what I mean? Like burgers and fries. That's not that like you that's not a first date. That is not an option. It's not cutting it for me, man. It's not. So I would have handled it differently, right? I don't think that all women that are saying we don't want to do Shake Shack as a first date, I don't think that that necessarily means that we're a gold digger. Because again, I can afford my own meal, and Shake that Shack, excuse me, it's not an example of a man's earnings. Like it doesn't show that a man can earn very much. Shake Shack does not show me that you have any gold for me today. So the fact that women are on underneath the comments talking about, oh well, she's a gold digger and da 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 da. It's like, it's fucking Shake Shack, bro. Like, how much gold could she possibly dig? Go in a fucking Shake Shack. Let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it all the way real, right? And the fact that women can fix their mouths, like this is why women are getting done dirty so much, is because how dare you fix your mouth to call another woman a gold digger when you really like. And then when you look at the kinds of women that are in the comments, they're not really cute. They're heavy set. They're women that you could tell would be desperate for a man. You know, just say it. They gonna lock this up, bro. You need to be in this lane. People don't know how to fucking drive. This is a fucking migrant. I bet you that don't know how to drive. Be like they're drunk or something. Your brakes sound bad, sir. But an idiot. Get the fuck off the phone, ho. Stupid. She's on the phone. That's they try to make it a law to where people can't be on their phones at all. And I think that in that case, that lady's on the phone and she's in the left lane and she's driving slow. Get the fuck over. Like again, it's all about having respect for the people that are driving on the road. She's going 40, but you're in the left lane. Yeah, it's 40 miles per hour, but it's really 45 in the left lane. You see what I'm saying? People have no respect for drivers no more, man. And all them drivers are stupid enough to sit behind her. I'm not. And I let her know you driving too slow. And that ain't really that she's driving too slow. She's on the phone, so she can't drive. Got the phone held up, old lady too. Get the phone, get off the phone. You're the reason for road rage. But it's very weird to me that women support this shit. It's just weird to me. It's weird to me how low women are willing to settle for it. Shake Shack, bro. Like I'm sorry. Like I don't do Shake Shack. I just don't. And even my boss, like, this is what's so cold. This is my boss, right? If we were to do lunch together, we're going somewhere to sit down, right? Somewhere that may have a drink on the menu, right? I may not order the drink, but we're adults. A lunch, you could take me to a pub or Earl's or somewhere. Like, there's gotta be another option for lunch outside of fucking Shake Shack. And I understand people like their shakes and their burgers, but I'm a very lean, like, I'm petite, right? I don't do a lot of extra foods and shit that I'm not a fat girl. And I'm saying that with all sincerity. I'm just not. I don't eat like a fat girl. I don't move like a fat girl, right? I am not a fat girl. So you're like the shakes, the burgers and the fries and shit, like, that's cool. But that ain't really my MO. Like, that's not really what I'm on. You know what I mean? Now you take me to a place where I could have the option to order salmon or seafood or something of that nature. That's different. And there are places like that. You can go to an adult place and have a decent lunch that does not feel like we're in high school and that's all you can afford is fucking Shake Shack, bro. So crazy. For it. Don't. Is that my car? But in front of me, I really don't have time. People be driving. It's like they drive like they don't know where they're going or something. I don't fucking know. They needed to redo the street. Fudge, man. So how do I get over? What's the way? If I need to turn right, how do I turn? Oh, I can't. It's about time they did this road. This road is crazy. Um, but yeah, those comments were funny, and I'm looking at the types of women in the comments, and I'm just like, that's why you saying what you're saying. 'Cause look how you look. You just desperate for a man to take you on a date. That woman had every right to feel some type of way about that kind of date. I would have. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, that dude would have never got a call back from me. The most exciting thing that I would have been able to say that day is, hey, somebody paid for my lunch if I allowed it to happen. But as far as him and I going any further, and the guy who posted it was like, well, he did say he was going to take her on a dinner a little later. We could have just waited for the dinner, bro. Like, I'm keeping it a buck. Fuck the Shake Shack, man. I don't even eat that much, let alone you talking about dinner later. And I eat a lot of dinner, okay? I'm just saying, like, I can get down on some food that I actually like. So now you trying to feed me twice in one day? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that I even want to see you that much. That's the truth. I don't even know if I like you to want to see you a second time. So again, I would do it, but again, I'm not the one to play that game with. You will be sitting there wondering why you ain't get no call, why you ain't get nothing. I mean, nothing. Because I paid for my meal. We just friends. And I've had to do that to men. And men understand what that means. They do. That's why the man kept arguing with me about, well, he's just saying that, getting to know someone shouldn't cost money. I never said that it shouldn't. I never said that it should. I'm letting you know I'm gonna help the brother out because clearly money is a factor in this. So I'm gonna pay for my own meal and he'll only be responsible for his meal. I'm helping him out. Okay. I agree. Money shouldn't be everything. So I'm gonna pay for mine, he pay for his. What are we arguing about, right? But it's because they know damn well this ain't it's like they want their cake and eat it too. You can't have it both ways, sweetheart. You're not gonna have me being I don't even know what that is on a date, but I'm not gonna be that date. I'm not gonna be the date that you didn't spend. If you took me to dinner and you didn't spend all this money, which I don't really need to know how much money you spent, that's really none of my concern. However, if you're taking me to dinner, right, and the goal is to impress me, that's a different me that shows up. If your goal is to interview me to see if I qualify for the dinner, oh, that's a whole nother me that shows up too. You see what I'm saying? So how you treat me is how you will get treated. Do you understand me? Because I treat myself so much better than what this man could offer. Some fucking Shake Shack? The fuck? So it wouldn't have been me. I'm sorry. I don't find Chipotle to be a first date. I don't find that to be cute. Maybe when you're in college and you're coming from that high school phase to okay, but as a grown ass woman, that's not attractive to me. It does nothing for me that you're paying for my Chipotle. Like all that does is nerve wrack me because now you think because you pay for it that you got some of that, like you got audacity and what I got going on in my life, and that's not an option. Not for no damn Chipotle, it ain't. So don't complain, ladies. You guys have power. Understand how to utilize your power. Understand that you don't always have to let a man pay for you. If the day ain't what it is and it ain't what you're expecting it to be, why are you letting the man pay for you? What's the reason for that? This driver is bad. When you get all the drivers from behind it, trying to get around it, that's bad. All the drivers, every last one of these drivers were trying to get from behind that one driver. That's how slow that driver was going. And that ain't cool. That's why I be saying people need to do better. They got to do better because if all traffic is going one way and you ain't going that way, that's really a problem. And it should be a hint. If you're in the left lane and all these cars are behind you and they all get in front of you, that should kind of be the deciding factor to let you know that you're effing up, right? It should let you know that hey, you're going too slow and or get out the left lane. See, that white car got mad that I got in front of it. But that truck ain't gonna let you in front of it. Not at all. You ain't getting back in this lane unless you behind me or you find a way in front of me to go. Have fun with that. Or Jeep. I don't want to be stuck behind that Kia. You ain't got a choice, homie. And it's trying to get over, but that truck ain't. The truck be competing with cars nowadays. I noticed. Trucks hella be competing with cars with speed, and that's scary as fuck. They're trucks. Not supposed to be speeding like a car would. Just because I'm that girl. Nope, plus, nope, 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 nope. And Hyundai, you can slow down all you want to. That don't the lights down there. What are you hitting your brakes for, my friend? This is stupid. You don't have that cool of a car, but you gonna drive like this anyway to cause people problems. That's fine. Sorry, y'all. I'm about to end this call, but I just wanted to say women can do better. Because I gotta focus. I don't like Hyundais. I don't like Hyundai drivers at all. And his driver's fucking with me already. Like literally, why are you doing that? Like, what is the motive that you get out of that, bro? You're not even going the speed limit. And you think you're brake checking me, my friend. That's not how this works. Not with a no Hyundai Elantra, motherfucker. You about to get the fuck. I don't have this patience. It's fine. Because I could really get around it if I want to. Solve that problem easy. You doing all that for what? Idiot. You don't have that nice of a car. Hyundai drivers irk my nerves because they swear the car is so much nicer than it actually is. Now, some Hyundais are getting better. However, I've driven them cars, and no offense, they're not the best quality of car. And so when I have a Hyundai driver, and I know damn well your car don't have all the buttons and all the things that my car got, and you trying to brake check me and drive below the speed limit to try to, I don't know what the intent was behind that. But okay, have fun with that. I do not like Hyundai drivers. There's several drivers I just don't fucking like at all. I think they're way more than they really need to be. And there was a cop right there somehow, but that's cool. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on the matter, y'all. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I think women forget that we have the power, and we give all this power to fucking men who are begging for an opportunity with you. And no, I'm not asking a man to spend all this kinds of money on me because I really don't need to know any of that. I shouldn't know what price tag you done put on me, right? If we're going to dinner, we're going to dinner because you said we're going to dinner and you picked out the place and you can afford the place, and therefore we're going to dinner, right? But let's be clear. Let me be 1000% clear. If you think that you're going to throw me some breadcrumbs like Shake Shack, motherfucker, I'm going to throw them crumbs right back at you. And you going to be in a position where you really don't know if we're friends or we dating, what's going on. And I promise you, the man will know he fucked up. Like, men know when they make poor choices. They know this shit. They know. Like, deep down, they know. So if I pay for my meal and then the conversation is real short after that, because the fact that I had to pay and you take me to goddamn Chipotle, now we could be laughing and cracking up in there, but once you call me outside of that time and I'm not available, it's easy to tell a man when he fucked up. It's easy. You don't have to talk though. Shut the fuck up and do. And when I said that, that's why that man's like, trying to argue with me. I didn't say that this wasn't what he trying to say. He trying to pick an argument with me, fighting with me about why I would want to pay for my own meal. But then again, if I'm the one complaining about the Shake Shack, then I'm a gold digger. The fuck? No, we just eliminated that entire argument right then and there. What else you got for me? Because a gold digger, you will never be able to put that on my name. And then again, what's wrong with gold digging? If you got the gold, why wouldn't I be able to dig? If you talking about you digging me, like how does that work? So the women, you got to pay attention to what men are saying. The lady had a right to be a little annoyed about the circumstance. She had every right to, and I understand it because I'll be damned if a man he tells me taking me to Shake Shack. Shake Shack, who? Where? Why? Like that's gonna be a hard yes. That's gonna be a hard wait. Can you go? We appreciate you. Thank you, weirdo. So let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. How would you have handled the situation? Would you have accepted a date to Shake Shack for the first date? Like that's y'all's first date? Let me know down in the comments below. With that being said, I'm out. Peace. Marks like that. Fucking BMWs, I guess. Done for what? Who the fuck parks like that? You even park off. Idiot. All right.